I'll probably never understand why or how someone can let themselves just get that big. But you know, I don't know what goes on in their life. I don't know how they grew up. I don't know if maybe it's a health issue. Maybe they have an enlarged what was it, thyroid gland. I don't remember exactly the specifics. You know what? I'm a big believer that a lot of medical issues are bullshit. Like attention deficit disorder. I know there's a lot of people out there who just can't stay still. I'm one of those people. I don't like staying still. I know I'm sitting here in the camera for like 12, 13 minutes. I'm staying fairly still in the occasional shift and my arms just... But I don't honestly believe in attention deficit disorder because I was diagnosed. I wasn't even diagnosed. My guidance counselor back in elementary school brought me in one day. He was like, "Your son has attention deficit disorder. He needs to be put in special classes." News to my parents. They didn't even know my guidance counselor was bringing me in. So that's a school issue, more or less. What I'm trying to say is I don't believe in a lot of medical issues. I think a lot of medical issues are due, one, to the negligence of the parents who are raising said children. If the parents live a fairly overweight lifestyle, always eating, stress eating, I think that transfers to the children. I completely think that's the case. Now, at the same time, where do I come into play in this? My family does nothing but deal with computers, things of that nature. My dad's an upholsterer, stepdad, but he's my dad, you know. None of them were physically active. You know, I got up on my own free will and decided I'm going to better myself. I'm going to go for jogs every morning or every day for... God. I think one day I went for like a 10-mile jog. One day, just cause I could. You know, do it because you can, not because you're supposed to. Don't do something because someone tells you. Do it because you should do it. Do it because you have to do it. Or maybe you don't have to do it, but it'll better you as a person. Take that much more initiative in your life. To not just sit there and be like, "Oh, well, you didn't tell me to." If you took the time in your life to do what was right without anyone telling you to, without any hesitation or thought process to how this might, you know, that the outcome might be, I think humanity as a whole would be a lot better off. At the same time, maybe not, because there's a lot of assholes out there. There's a lot of scumbags. There's a lot of people who, maybe you'll disagree, do not deserve to live. You know, I don't live in a horribly bad neighborhood. I live in some small, not really even small city in Florida. It's a fairly big city, like over 100,000 people. So it's not huge. It's probably over 100,000 people at this point. But it's not exactly, you know, it's not New York, but it's not like, you know, Barron near Hickville, you know what I'm saying? Where there's only like 100 people and like a 10-mile radius. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to live in a Barron and you know what? I relatively liked it until I would go for my jogs and I'd get chased by pit bulls because no one decides to chain their animals. I think I got off topic. I got really off topic. Obesity and health disorders, mental disorders. Not mental disorders, some mental disorders. I'm not saying all things of that nature do not exist. Schizophrenia. God, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. It's just, the mental disorders do exist. I'm saying things like ADD, just calm the fuck down. I can't tell you how many kids I've ever had in my class when I was growing up. I was like, why are you acting up? I have ADD, I can't help it, I'm off my Ritalin, or whatever the fuck they take. Adderall, I think it is. I don't know. No. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Sit down and shut the fuck up. Alright? The teacher's up there, he's trying to speak. He doesn't even get paid that much. Like, respect them, man. You're 15, 16, the dude's 30, 40 something, and he shouldn't have to take this sort of abuse from some douchebag 15-year-old. Like, I hate people who take advantage of their fucking disorders just so they can bring disorder to the classroom, to any sort of social media, anything like that. It frustrates the hell out of me, and you know what? I openly want you guys to message me, comment me, whatever, and telling me I'm wrong. Because you know what? Yeah, I really don't care. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. That's how the world goes. Social issues are a big problem in today's society. The media wants everyone to look as cut as Brad Pitt did back in 10 years, 20 years ago. You know, women are supposed to look like these Victoria's Secret models that I could lift with one hand. You know, that's society, unfortunately, and this pressure, I'm sure it does put pressure on the obese and the overweight to try and make themselves look good. Anorexia, bulimia, people just sitting there not eating or throwing up. You know, there's a lot of problems in the world, and a lot of these problems are brought through social medias. The media just, it ruins people. I solely believe that if we could regulate the shit that we watch on the television, and the TV's right here, so I'm pointing there, if we could regulate, and I'm not saying completely like, oh, FCC, fucking get rid of cursing, swearing. You know what? No, get rid of nudity. You know what? That little 5-year-old kid is going to see a vagina and tits and an ass that he wants to shove his fucking head in between. When he's older, it doesn't matter. He's going to see it eventually. Probably not 5, but you know what I'm saying. Those little 12-year-olds that have learned how to masturbate, and they're like, they're happy they found something new to do with their life and spend their time meaninglessly doing. Meaninglessly doing, sorry. I'm saying regulate the commercials, the food advertisements, the way they are presented to us as the public. Showing me a hamburger, you know, obviously for starters, I'm not going to give 2 shits if you're showing me a hamburger. Hamburgers from like McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King, disgusting. You know, if I ever eat at a fast food restaurant, which I don't do often, I don't recommend ever doing, they're awful for you. The MSGs, the sodium, awful for you. I go with something half decent, like a chicken sandwich, because at least you're getting lean proteins, and although they batter it and salt it to all fucking get out, like a chicken sandwich has like more sodium than a regular burger does. It's awful for you. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues, and there's not enough time in the world to go through each and every one of them. There isn't. We all live our life, and we all learn from our mistakes, and we all eventually grow up, and we all eventually realize the things we did, things we're doing, or whatever, you know, are impacting our lives in certain ways for the rest of our lives. Me working out or me eating healthy will instill a habit into me that will travel with me until I'm 80, 90 something in my deathbed, or I might not even live that long. I made this point, and I'm probably running out of time here. I made this point on my Facebook the other day. Not my fan page, but